The Omphalos Hypothesis attempts to resolve the divergence between the scientific assertion of Earth's billion-year existence and the biblical depiction of a mere thousand-year-old Earth. Rooted in faith, it proposes that the universe was divinely crafted no more than 10,000 years ago, aligning with the premise of flood geology contradictory evidence, suggesting an older universe is reasoned as artificial, implanted by the Creator to present an illusion of advanced age. The hypothesis borrows its name from an 1857 book, Omphalos by Philip Henry Gossi, which argues for a divine authority that crafted a coherent world with mature elements like mountains, canyons, full-grown humans, and developed flora and fauna. Consequently, empirical evidence about the universe's age is unreliable. Young Earth creationists extended this belief, providing varied reasons for the illusionary age of the universe, some arguing for ecological necessities while others suggesting divine deception. Despite sparse acceptance in the 19th century, it was resurrected in the 20th century by some creationists to address the contradictory evidence provided by seemingly distant celestial objects. Literary accounts drawing from the Genesis creation narrative have populated human history, with instances like the 4th century theologian Ephraim, the Syrian describing an instantaneous birth of fully grown organisms. However, the veracity of a literal biblical interpretation came under scrutiny in the 19th century as emerging scientific evidence challenged established beliefs, a strain which found resistances in writers like François-René de Chateaubriand, who backed the idea of a complete, yet deceptive, creation. In contemporary times, figures like Rabbi David Gottlieb sustain a similar stance, dismissing compelling scientific evidence as misleading and endorsing the religious chronology. The mid-19th century marked an intellectual clash between empirical evidence and religious beliefs regarding Earth's age. Gossi, through his publication, Omphalos, attempted to navigate this discord, ultimately siding with the religious tradition. One prevalent theory, put forth by English theologian John Pye Smith, suggests that the Garden of Eden narrative pertains to a single, small locality. In contrast, French naturalist Georges Louis Leclerc's Comte de Buffon proposed that the 6 days of creation were, in fact, extended epochs rather than literal days. However, Gossi's idea was disregarded by theologians who felt that it depicted God as deceptive, either through scripture or nature. Furthermore, scientists dismissed it for conflicting with the well-regarded explanation of geology, uniformitarianism, and for its imperviousness to falsification or validation. Contemporary creationists continue to dispute against scientific evidence. John D. Morris, president of the Institute for Creation Research, referenced the appearance of ages in 1990, asserting that God's creation was already fully formed and purposeful from the outset. However, Morris does not extend this to geological records, opting to believe in a global flood creation. Other theorists like Gerald E. Aardsma extrapolate the idea further with his virtual history concept, implying that post-creation events altered the virtual history we currently discern, including fossils. Although Gossi's original Omphalos hypothesis centers on a common creation narrative, some suggest the concept does not exclude creation as recent as 5 minutes ago. Memories from before this moment could have been created instantaneously. This concept, oftentimes dubbed last Thursdayism by its critics, asserts that the world could have been created last Thursday. From a scientific perspective, the hypothesis is neither verifiable nor falsifiable. It is inconceivable to confirm or disprove the theory empirically, since it presumes that all observable details have been fabricated. From a religious standpoint, it can be seen as God creating an illusionary universe with seemingly real phenomena that never took place. In refuting the assertion that God might have created a deceptive universal history to test our faith, Rabbi Natan Slifkin, an author censured by several Haredi rabbis for contradicting the Talmud, has written extensively on the matter. The concept of redshift in light, highlighting a greater wavelength measured by a receiver as opposed to the wavelength as measured by the emitter, is instrumental in scientific understanding of the universe. This indicates the expansion of space between us and other galaxies, positioning some galaxies billions of light years away from the Milky Way conclusively. The light must have been in transit for billions of years, suggesting a universe of a comparable age. However, as per the Omphalos hypothesis, the redshift embodies a divine plan to mislead humans into believing that the universe is billions of years old. This theory, fraught with multiple inconsistencies such as the absence of supporting evidence or biblical references, implies that God manipulates each galaxy's shift meticulously to misrepresent the universe's age, a veil undetectable until the 20th century. The 5-minute hypothesis offers a contradictory viewpoint by philosopher Bertrand Russell, suggesting the universe spontaneously came into being, complete with human memory and indicators of history, merely 5 minutes ago. It is a prominent instance, stressing on the philosophical skepticism pertaining to memory reliance and faith in evidence-based historical timeline. Matching closely to Russell's idea is author Jorge Luis Borges' world in Tlon Ukbar Orbis Tertius, 1940, where the denial of time is idolized. The present is seen as indefinite, with past and future bearing importance as present memory and expectations, respectively. Additionally, Borges' earlier work, The Creation in P.H. Gauss, scrutinizes the censure towards Gauss's Omphalos. Borges suggests that the unpopularity of this theory perhaps stems from Gauss's inadvertent exposure of inconsistencies in the Genesis narrative.